Was Einstein wrong? He painted pure scalars and vectors with the same brush. Let's see how. Famous mass-velocity relation, m of v equals to m0 upon under root 1 minus v square upon c square. Here m and v only two variables. If both increasing, then what to decrease? V the velocity and m the mass of an object. C velocity of light and predefined upper vector limit. V as a vector increases with respect to vector limit c, but with respect to what m pure scalar increases is not clear. Einstein rated m the mass as vector, so it increases with respect to c, the vector limit. V increases to touch c, but can't go beyond c. M has no such scalar limits, so it gets at infinity. Root cause lies in Einstein-defined relative motion. Let's understand how reciprocity is valid in vectors, but not in pure scalars. Reciprocity is possible only when one frame is motionless with the other moving. Einsteinian viewpoint. He observes V moving away with V velocity, and to B appears to move with minus V. This symmetry in observations is reciprocity. It is possible only with common magnitude. Here it is V. Distance between A and B is D. Wow, B moving away, disowning his motion, but accepts the distance D is increasing. With this motionlessness, increasing distance makes B realize that A moves away. Einstein's biframe model of universe doesn't allow third frame, so he presumed A and B have real velocities in their frames. It is a hypothetical model and far from the reality and doesn't allow the real-time analysis of the universe. So both A and B have real velocities, V and minus V. A observes B carrying kinetic energy and growing in mass. B observes A carrying kinetic energy and growing in mass, as V is common and real between them. But each feels himself motionless and thus no change in his mass. So when A observes B moving with real velocity V, it carries kinetic energy and growing in mass. This is what A observes. But B feels motionless, so no motion, no kinetic energy, and no growth of mass. But when B looks back to A appears to move with minus V velocity, which is also real for him. So it grows in mass. B observes A growing in mass. But A doesn't accept this change because he feels motionless. So each observer observes his counterpart growing in mass, but not himself. So even in scalar quantities, reciprocity is seen. It is Einstein's view and not ours. Let us see our view ahead in the same video. Dynamics. We crack the puzzle. Object with real velocity sees his own reflection of motion in non-moving one. Relative motion is synthesis of real and imaginary motions. Vectors show reciprocity, but pure scalar exhibit inverse variation. Two converse processes in a single process resolve infinity. V minus iota V, we obtain new mass velocity relation m of V equals to m0 under root c raised to the power 4 minus v raised to the power 4 upon c square minus v square. It shows two inverse processes within a process. In coming videos, you will get the derivation of this formula. Here we see how relativistic increase and relativistic decrease affect the pure scalars. Real velocity is v or minus v gives particle plus k means positive kinetic energy, indicating an increase over the rest mass, while imaginary velocities iota v or minus iota v gives particle minus k means negative kinetic energy, showing decrease in the rest mass. Here observes B moving with real velocity v carrying plus kinetic energy and growing in mass. However, B himself will not feel any change in him as it feels motionless. When B looks back to A, he finds A carrying minus ke and losing his mass as it is moving with minus iota v. A also doesn't feel any change in him as he is motionless. So these observations are unlike, we call them inverse variation. Thus pure scalars show inverse variation but not reciprocity. In special relativity, we see that even the scalars show reciprocity. This new mass velocity relation m of v equals to m0 under root c to the power 4 minus v to the power 4 upon c square minus v squared shows two-way interaction between matter and the field. Red phase is electron and gray color is field here in the animation. The field is being pumped into the electron, which makes the electron massive, more in mass. However, electron also shares some part of it to field. See, in gray color, the field is going into the electron to make it massive, and field, this red color is also transferring some part of it to field, allowing positron to surface. Field into matter boosts the particle with mass without changing charge. Matter into field is reverse process. It changes the dynamics of the particle as it carries opposite charge. This way antimatter takes birth. Most important aspect of the new mass velocity relation shows matter transforming into photon. See, the red phase denotes electron and gray color field. Electron remains associated with a de Broglie wave. This is a matter wave of large wavelength. At C, the energy is infinity, and in its comparison, finite rest mass is zero. So, see how it reduces. The product of 0 into infinity is indeterminate at C. It is photon at C. In de Broglie relation, neither velocity or mass increases, so wavelength decreases. See here V is increasing, it becomes mc, so this wavelength decreases. So we have just seen that in the denominator here, we converted into mc, decreasing the wavelength, simultaneously matter transferring into photon at the same time. Thus a photon with shorter wavelength is a gamma ray, a clue to GRB as gamma ray burst. In supernova explosions, when a massive particle instantly touches C, it will produce hard and the hardest gamma rays. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please keep on watching. Please share it, subscribe it, and like it.